So even though today started with a problem at the sandbag stations, that appears to no longer be a problem, and instead people are coming together to help each other through this storm. Live at Reading Fire Station number 4, I'm Colin Lightwood for Action News.
And now for the very latest on the storm, we check in with Chief Meteorologist Chris Kuiper in the Active Weather Center. Chris?
Yeah, and our storm coming at us in 3 separate pieces. Round 1, storm number 1, if you will. That's the one that blasted us with a good amount of rain today. Many areas of the valley picking up a ½ inch to as much as an inch of rain. But now things really starting to quiet on down. We wait the arrival of our next storm system. Here it is, cranking out here in the Pacific Ocean. Nice big band of moisture with the tail extending down in the subtropics. It's going to be another warm and wet storm. It's not due in early tomorrow, more towards the later afternoon hours and tomorrow night. So through the rest of the night tonight, carrying over into tomorrow, just a few showers out there and another mild night. Temperatures in the low 50s. Kind of breezy, but not as much as we had earlier on today. By noontime, the showers starting to pick back up a little bit and temperatures in the middle 50s. By tomorrow dinner time, not this time tomorrow or so, that's when the rain should be returning in full force and the winds really picking up. And storm number 2 looks significantly stronger than the one that we just dealt with today. We'll talk much more about this one and another big one coming our way Saturday night and Sunday in just a little bit.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Police say weather is to blame for an accident in Chico that sent 2 people to the hospital. It happened around 3:30 this afternoon on Manzanita Avenue near Chico Canyon Road. Officers say the driver of a truck lost control while going around a curve. They say the driver tried to regain control. He pulled right into the path of another car headed in the opposite direction. Witnesses tell officers that the driver was going about 5 to 10 miles an hour under the speed limit when he lost control.
This is the 3rd accident in the last 4
going 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Where
So we have a
and because of wet ground, lose control of their car.
The driver of both vehicles were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. The passengers in both cars were not hurt.
It's not known if wet weather played a role in a crash on Highway 299 that claimed the life of a driver this morning east of Reading. It happened just before 9:30 near Fender's Ferry Road in Montgomery Creek. An empty logging truck collided head-on with the pickup. The wreck blocked the eastbound lane of the highway for a couple of hours. The driver of the pickup died in the crash. His name has not been released. The driver of the logging truck, which was knocked on its side, was not injured.
And still ahead, the Paradise Police Force could lose one of its 15 officers depending on how town leaders decide to tackle a budget shortfall tonight. We'll have the details.
3 Chico State students are being called heroes tonight after their quick actions helping to save a life of a classmate. We'll hear from them.
And 2 people are behind bars after last night's near 6-hour police standoff in Oroville. We'll have those stories and much more when NBC 24 Action News at 5 continues. Thanks, you guys. That was so much fun. We're in our best behavior.
They're like, this is your best.
I know. They're like, oh, you're well, one of you are. I need to go back to school.
Do you have a minute to maybe answer some questions?
Yeah. Are you having fun? Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so who wants to be a meteorologist and be on TV? Anyone?
Not one person in this class.
Oh my gosh.
Scare them off. I want your job. Sorry.
No, you don't want to be a meteorologist. You want to be a news anchor.
Yes.
Come
You
on.
want to do the news? Come do this.
Any questions, seriously? I know a lot about Judy Alley. Ask me anything.
I know a lot about that
Yeah,
guy.
that's true. Just kidding. Never mind.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. I was told to behave.
1 minute. You guys can ask questions.
Go on.
Yes, sir.
There's a story about the Chico State students that are heroes, but you know what happened there?
Pardon me?
You just mentioned the Chico State students. You know what the story is there?
Yes.
Yeah. They work at the rec center, and some guy was doing weights on Monday night and collapsed dead. He had cardiac arrest.
1 minute.
He wasn't breathing, no pulse. And I guess the rec center comes equipped with defibrillator, which these guys are somewhat trained in doing, and it saved the guy's life so far. He's in critical condition right now, but big deal.
Awesome.
much time, Shane?
About 45 minutes. Feel a little uncomfortable here.
I know, I'm like,
Play tic-tac-toe.
a tic-tac-toe, oh,
Funny.
I
we,
lose tic-tac-toe every time.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
A Tehama County man is behind bars tonight accused of killing his own brother.
Clifford Palmer was arrested last night at a home on Thornway Avenue in the Corning area. Deputies say he killed his 46-year-old brother, Mitch Albero, with a single punch after an argument at the home yesterday evening. Investigators say both men had been drinking throughout the day. Palmer is being held on $1 million bail.
We are learning new details about last night's standoff in Oroville. Officers arrested 2 men at around 10:30 last night, bringing an end to the 5.5-hour ordeal. Butte County drug agents originally went to the Villa Court Inn to serve a felony arrest warrant on 35-year-old Brandon Dixon. Well, as they approached, deputies saw one of the men in the room holding a gun, so they decided to back off. They evacuated the motel and called in the SWAT team. Then around 10:30, the SWAT team entered the room and arrested Dixon along with 29-year-old Christopher Dixon. The two are not related. Investigators say the weapon officers originally spotted was actually a toy gun that had been modified to look like an assault rifle. Officers say they also found meth and marijuana in the room. A Chico man is killed in a 6-hour police standoff in San Francisco. This started Monday night when officers responded to a report of a man with a gun driving a stolen car in San Francisco. During a pursuit, the driver, 29-year-old Duncan Phillips, fired at least one shot at police before driving onto Treasure Island. Officials say the standoff came to an end Tuesday morning when Phillips shot himself. He was also suspected of a robbery and carjacking on Thanksgiving in Benicia. Phillips had managed an apartment complex in Chico.
A March trial date has been set today for a Chico man charged with murdering his mother. Adam Jacob was arrested in September after deputies found his mother, Donna Teifer, stabbed to death in her home. It allegedly happened during an argument that stemmed from a child custody battle between Jacob and his estranged wife. Sources close to the investigation tell Action News that Jacob also suffered from an untreated mental disorder. He is scheduled to stand trial on March 11th. An Oroville murder suspect who indicated he would plead guilty earlier this week has changed his mind and now heads to trial. District Attorney Mike Ramsey says Derek Blanton wanted to plead to a charge of first-degree murder on Monday in the shooting death of John Ball Jr. last December. But the crime carries a sentence of 63 years to life, so the judge told him to think about it for a day. Today, Blanton was back in court and said he decided against it. The victim was one of 4 people shot during an alleged drug robbery at an apartment off Mitchell Avenue. The others survived. Blanton will stand trial in March now.
Still to come, we all love to save money, especially when we're doing our Christmas shopping. But are outlet malls the way to go? We'll have tips from our financial expert.
And the stars will be out tonight for the 80th annual Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting ceremony. We will preview tonight's big event.
Turned out to be a rainy day around the North States, and even bigger storms headed our way tomorrow. We'll talk all about that when Action News returns.
Finally, you get to see weather, what you came here for, the man, the star, Chris Geiger. Oh my God.
She's so funny, I can't shut her off. Most embarrassing moments on television.
What's that?
Some of your most embarrassing moments on television.
Happened just last night.
My most embarrassing that she caused just last night.
Oh my gosh. Is it, oh.
Why don't you describe it, please?
We like to have fun during the commercial break. Sometimes a little too much
Yes.
fun. I'll tell it. Okay. So last night we were having fun. Was this at 6:30? 6:30 newscast. And we suddenly got the cue from the crew, 10 seconds left on the break. And it's kind of like you realize, oh, we totally have to regain our composure in the next 10 seconds. So I Chance did, being a rascal, and I said, we have 5 seconds to be serious, and we did. And they started 4, 3, 2, and then they went silent. And just as they were about to fade up, Judy goes, and 1. And we came up.
No, it was so not funny, but
It was
Alex
funny.
found it giggly. Oh my God.
It was a serious story, and I was like, without laughing. Oh my God. It's on our website. If you want to go watch last night's 6th grade show, you will see it for yourself.
Oh my God. And I hear, all of a sudden I hear him going, straining, and I'm like, oh no, I can't look at Alex because I'll start busting up. Oh my gosh. So,
7,
oh my gosh, it's all about Chris.
5, 4, 3, 2.
From the AccuWeather Center, here's your AccuWeather forecast with Chris Kuiper.
Well, turned out to be a pretty wet and a fairly windy day around the North State today. The first of 3 significant storm systems moved on through. The storm number 2 and storm number 3, they look bigger than the one that just blasted us with a fair amount of rain. You can see our storm system now sliding off towards the east. Still some showers going on in the mountains, but you get the idea, nothing really much left out there. This is kind of interesting, this little band of clouds here. This is sneaking off towards the northeast like that, and this may clip Siskiyou County, Trinity County, and perhaps Shasta County with a few showers. But by and large, things really quieting on down. We wait the arrival of our next storm system. Gives us a chance to total up storm number 1, and not bad. Certainly not a huge storm. Certainly not as big as what we're going to see tomorrow night, but a good first step. 88 hundredths of an inch of rain. That's what I had at my rain gauge here in Chico. An inch in Willows, close to that in Corning. 9 tenths of an inch of rain there. And in Red Bluff, 1.3 in Magalia, and about 86 hundredths in Bernie. Don says about 1.25 inches fell at his place there in Hayfork. So some good totals. We're not going to add a whole lot on top of that in the next 24 hours. But then Thursday night and Friday, a lot of rain is coming our way. Winds were certainly blustery around the North State today. We had winds upper 20s, even 33 mile per hour gusts in Redding. Wow, look at Alpine Meadows. Over 100 mile per hour winds up there on the top of the Sierra Ridges. That's at 8,500 feet, but still, that's a lot of wind. And again, our storm coming tomorrow night, it looks bigger and windier. Current temperatures in the 50s here in the valley, 45 in Bernie. We had a little cold pocket of air trapped around Lake Almanor. It snowed around Lake Almanor, whereas the snow level around Donner Summit was over Donner Summit. So it was just a little cold pocket of air here. Temperature now starting to rise around Lake Almanor, and I suspect the snow level will do the same. So storm number 2 coming on in Thursday night and Friday, and then we'll get a little break, and then storm number 3 comes in Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, and into the day Sunday, and then after that we're done for a little bit. And we're going to need a little break because these next 2 storms coming in, they look like whoppers. Here's storm number 2 out here in the Pacific Ocean. Low pressure cranking up back here, and which is really going to deepen as it approaches the coastline. And that is really going to pick up our winds. It looks like by early Friday morning, we could be looking at winds gusting close to 50 miles per hour in the valley. Here's a nice, big, healthy plume of moisture, which is going to move over us, and then it looks like it'll just stall out. Watch the way Futurecast brings in, again, here's storm number 2. Through the day tomorrow, it's right on the north coast by Thursday afternoon, so not much doing through most of the day Thursday. And then Thursday night, it comes in, and then it just hangs, and then notice here, Friday early in the morning, as we're all trying to go to school or work and whatnot, and we've got a big band of moderate to even heavy rain across the region. We could easily pick up a couple of inches just tomorrow night out of this big, healthy storm, and then still more into Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, things begin to calm on down. We await the arrival of storm number 3. But the next 2 storms coming our way, they look really big. Here's what we have in our forecast. We'll start you off with Trinity County for tomorrow. Still a few showers out there tonight, not too much. And then by mid-morning or so, we'll see the arrival of storm number 2 here, and that's when it'll turn back into rain. High temperatures in the 40s, locally windy, especially in the Shasta Valley. Today we had gusts close to 50 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, we could see gusts close to 60 miles per hour there in the Shasta Valley. Again, around Lake Almanor today, we had a little local cold air trapped there. I think we'll scour that out, and we'll see the snow level rising. High temperatures in the 40s there tomorrow. Showers tonight and tomorrow on the ridge. By tomorrow afternoon, turn into rain, and that rain could get heavy at times tomorrow night. Rain showers, just a few out there on the north end of the valley tonight. Tomorrow morning, a few showers. By tomorrow afternoon, turning to rain. In the Mid-Valley, a few off and on showers out there tonight. Tomorrow, looking at, again, a few showers in the morning, turning to rain by the afternoon time, and then tomorrow night, the wind and the rain, really a bad combination. We could be looking at gusts close to 50 miles per hour here in the valley. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a couple of inches of rain just tomorrow night. Round number 3 comes on in Saturday afternoon and Sunday morning, and it looks like a virtual repeat with potentially heavy rain and potentially some very strong winds. So today's storm, kind of the appetizer, the two main courses, we get 2 of them, 2 for 1 here. We get them the next couple of days here. They look pretty big.
Okay, the clouds in your graphics look ominous.
They should be ominous. And, Mr. Reinbold's class from Butte College, they took the time to come on down to the station, and they picked a great day to come on down.
It's a weather day.
Wild weather.
Yeah, it's a weather day. They're here. There's 1,000 little kids. Adults.
They are young adults. All right, thanks, Chris.
Thanks. Thousands gathered in Manhattan's Rockefeller Center tonight for the lighting of the famed Rockefeller Center Christmas tree.
This year's tree, an 80-foot-tall Norway spruce, came from Flanders, New Jersey, cut down after surviving Superstorm Sandy. It's been decorated in more than 30,000 lights and topped with a Swarovski crystal star. I probably say that wrong every time. Tonight is the 80th annual tree lighting ceremony. The tradition started in the early 1930s during the Great Depression. The ceremony will feature special performances from several artists, including Rod Stewart, CeeLo Green, my personal favorite, and Trace Atkins. You can watch it tonight at 8 right here on NBC 24.
Beautiful. And still ahead, former Giants slugger Barry Bonds is on the Baseball Hall of Fame ballot along with Roger Clemens and Sammy Sosa. But should accusations they use performance-enhancing drugs keep them out of the Hall? We'll have some of your comments when NBC 24 Action News continues. All right.
You're not little kids.
I know they came and I'm like, oh, you're so cute. And they're like, we're your size.
Can we thank Chris?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Judy, and Alex? Alright, and you guys probably have about 90 seconds, so you guys need to head out the door behind the wall here. And also some of you tonight in class, otherwise I'll see the rest of you next week.
And congratulations in advance.
I've got
on your
another
semester.
group coming in on Friday, just so you know. So more little cuties will be coming in.
Children, you're all- I know, it's gonna